Canyonlands National Park, where every direction looks like it belongs on a postcard, and every outlook makes you question if your camera can ever do it justice. It's with more than a little pride I say the place doesn't look as good in real life. This is Utah's largest national park. Over 330,000 acres of deep canyons, towering mesas, and winding gorges carved by the Colorado and Green Rivers. It's divided into four main districts: Island in the Sky, the Needles, the Maze, and the rivers themselves. Each feels like its own world, and each can make you feel very, very small. Unless you're moving in, you can't see it all in one visit. We focused our exploration to the Island in the Sky district, a mesa sitting 1,000 feet above the surrounding terrain, giving you views that go on for more than 100 miles in every direction. It's the kind of place where you half expect to see flat earthers admit they were all wrong. The name isn't poetic, it's literal. Standing there, you really do feel like you're on an island, floating above an ocean of natural wonders. From the Shafer Trail overlook to Grand View Point, the overlooks are world famous for a good reason. And while the views from the top are jaw-dropping, we've learned that things get even more immersive when you get down into the canyon itself. Enter Shafer Trail, a road that looks like it was designed by someone who thought, what if we combined a cattle trail, a roller coaster, and a mild panic attack? The original route was created by Native Americans so they could access the top of the mesa, then later used by and ultimately named for John Shafer, a Mormon pioneer who improved the trail in the early 1900s so he could move livestock to different pastures depending on the time of the year. Shafer Trail is now one of the most thrilling and occasionally nerve-wracking drives in Utah.
I'm not sure this is the interstate. I know the guy said that it was going to be a little rough at some places, but it feels like this isn't an interstate. And I'm pretty sure the speed limit isn't 70. But, okay, whatever. I'm willing to play their game.
It starts on the canyon rim and drops nearly 1,500 feet to the valley floor. A dizzying series of switchbacks that hug the cliffs so tightly, you'll wonder if your side mirrors will make it. At times, it's barely wide enough for two cars to pass. And if you're the passenger, this is where your deep breathing exercises really pay off. But the views? Absolutely unreal. Towering red cliffs on one side, empty space on the other, and a sense of adventure that feels straight out of an old western, or maybe a theme park ride gone rogue. You find it difficult to believe that this road has withstood over a century without being completely washed out. Perhaps there are some lessons to learn here for the folks fighting to keep Highway 1 open through Big Sur. Every time you look back, you question the wisdom of taking a fully loaded 3-ton vehicle on these precipices. Looking back up, it's inconceivable that there's a road where you just descended. A few tips when doing this descent: put your car manually into a low gear to save the brakes for when you really need them. Use your low-range gearbox if you have one. Ask your passengers not to scream each time you point your car towards the cliff while turning. Be aware, your passengers will have to go to the bathroom when you get to the bottom. Thankfully, they've installed a pit toilet there. Once you reach the bottom, your pulse returns to normal. A different off-road adventure begins. While the Shafer switchbacks are dramatic, the rest of the road to Moab demands serious ground clearance and patience. Your journey on this road is only about 20% complete before rejoining pavement. It's a different kind of scenic drive. Perhaps you would consider it Utah's most aggressive massage. Don't be lulled into thinking that you're just cruising now. Keep looking around because landscapes are more dramatic once you're in the canyon. We see why they don't call it a road. Trail is the appropriate term. It would be terrifying without a high ground clearance and four-wheel drive vehicle, particularly when it starts raining. It was terrifying to imagine what it was like in an under-equipped, obvious rental car driving the road. We did our best to stay clear of them. At one point, we even approached a helicopter evacuation of someone who was injured on this part of the road. It gave us second thoughts, but we were convinced it's easier to keep going rather than turning around. Along the way, you'll pass Thelma and Louise Point. Yes, the actual filming location of the iconic movie Ending. It's the perfect photo op. Just, keep all four wheels on solid ground. We later learned that they had to film that scene twice because they lost a wig from one of the stunt dummies early in the shot, rendering it unusable. Even without movie lore, this is a spectacular viewpoint. The road eventually winds past ponds at the Potash factory. They're huge, and you don't really appreciate the scale as you pass. We were disappointed that they weren't as bright blue like they appear on satellite photos. We read that they dye the ponds blue to accelerate the evaporation rate. After the ponds, we pass Elvis Rock. Frankly, we don't see the likeness. And just when you think your feelings can't take another bump, the road finally smooths out and becomes pavement again, a sure sign that civilization and Moab are close. Once back on the pavement, we pass the potash facility that harvests potassium chloride from the evaporation ponds. Here, the rail spur carrying out the fertilizer component starts and does a slow, gradual climb to the main rail line. The drive along the Colorado River reminds us why pavement has become so popular on roads. We pass Jug Handle Arch, likely named by someone who wasn't very deep into their sobriety journey. Then we pass a stretch where rock climbers practice on sandstone slabs beneath the ascendant rail spur. The trail conveniently ends just outside of Moab, allowing you to make a triumphant entrance into this town that's become the leading adventure center in the state of Utah. Moab itself is a mix of rugged adventure and small-town charm, a place where dusty boots and great stories come standard. Still to come, we look at Moab's mild side. We trade arches for natural bridges, revisit a place where so many westerns were filmed that John Wade had his own cabin there, and even experience the cosmic swirls in the Vermilion Cliffs and the unbelievable colors of the oddly named White Pocket. Because when one adventure ends, another begins. Let us know in the comments if there are other parts of Canyonlands people should explore, or if you have a preference of driving up the Shafer Trail or down. Please like and subscribe to our channel if you like this sort of content and don't want to miss our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.